Yeah! Almost Punk podcast.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this will be the last April podcast.
And it'll probably be like September by the time we get approved by the thing that we're using to post it.
Yeah, I don't know about that place, but
yeah,
I think YouTube handles it. We're there. It's fine.
Yeah, I think it's probably because of coronavirus. Everything's delayed.
I don't even understand. Media is essential, apparently.
It is. You're right. And podcasting was one of the exclusions for essential businesses. I mean,
I almost made me blow a booger out of my nose because I was like, what? That's essential? True crime people are essential?
I believe so, because it's like new. I think I saw a thing, so it must be true, but it said news, journalism, and podcast. I mean, the two people, including us, listening to it, hey, this is essential.
There's not two people other than us. It's just us. That's the two people listening twice.
It's just you and me, each making sure we didn't say anything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's us.
How come your camera is so much better than mine?
Oh,
what do you got?
I have a Mac.
Oh, you paid a lot of money? Oh, I guess that explains it.
Kinda. I mean, it's a lot of money compared to a non-Mac, of course, but I bought the cheapest Mac, which is why I have all these computer issues now, because it's like an older model of a very like lower.
Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah.
Fancy.
It's a MacBook Air.
I'm looking at myself in my camera. I'm like, oh, things don't look so good.
It's going to be so weird.
This is day what? 65 of quarantine?
I think it's 1,572, but I don't know anymore. It is.
I've never had a beard in my life until now, and I'm like, this is what I look like? Oh my God. But I'm like, that's the only chance I got. If I'm going to do it, I'm doing it now.
My dog's nails are the craziest they've ever had. My eyebrows are the craziest I've ever had.
Dog nails are the new big thing in my house.
It is. I was trying to find the tool to do it myself.
Nope.
They were all sold out. I had to
Can't do it.
I had to buy one that I don't know if it's good, but at this point, nobody cares. And it's delayed on my shipping. I was supposed to have it like earlier this week. It has not arrived yet. So it's the new hide item.
Apparently, over here, I'm like, hey, is this essential? Are mobile dog groomers essential? We need to call someone over here to trim dog nails here, because this is becoming a big problem. And I am like, I can do it. I have no clue. Not a clue how to do it. Doesn't stop me from doing anything. That's never been my thing, but I do need the tools to do it, and I have no idea what it is. I'm going to have to look into this, because it's a big problem.
It's a big problem, and I haven't done it myself yet, but I did see a video of somebody posting saran wrap around her head and then putting peanut butter on it so the dog licks her head while she's trimming the nails.
Are you a written instruction type person, a video type instruction person, or a picture type instruction person?
Ooh.
This has become a big deal over here in my life.
Okay. I guess I do like videos, but I will say, and that's weird because I don't like music videos. Like, I have not seen music videos of some of my favorite bands, like my favorite bands. I have not seen every single video. I do not rewatch it. Maybe I'll force myself to watch it once just out of curiosity. I don't do it. I think it almost ruins what I think the song is in my head. And it's not a thing I really care about. But I do watch YouTube videos all the time, like almost every day now, because I'm trapped at home. I just don't watch music videos, so it's really funny. But I do like watching videos that kind of give you instructions or tips or whatever. However, everybody talks too long. It drives me crazy because they'll start the video and they'll start being like, oh, I'm sorry, my hair looks crazy. I'm in quarantine or whatever. This was probably from 4 years ago. Something else is going on in their life that's causing them to whatever look different. And it's like this whole explanation. And I'm just like, how do I do this? Like, just stop giving me extra information. There are videos where you can watch people's vlogs or opinions or whatever. That's fine. But if I'm watching a video on like how to change a light bulb, which I don't need a video for that, but hypothetically speaking, like I don't care what your hair is a different color or what happened to your dog that day. Like, no, that's the wrong medium for it. So a lot of people don't understand. So I guess it depends on how complicated the thing is. So I think videos are good for things you've like no experience at all. So for example, I bought a iron cast pan months ago and I've never had one. And so I watched some videos on how to season it and how to treat it and stuff. And now I know how to do it. So,
you're an expert.
Well, I'm not an expert, but I don't need to
watched the video. You're an expert now.
I'm an expert now. Yeah, but for cooking, I prefer a recipe because in the video, you can't you're losing all that information of like when to put the ingredients, how much to measure out and all of that. So I do like written down for recipes. And then what was the other option?
Pictures, just like exclusively with like a sentence caption. I've seen that.
I feel like in theory I would like it, but in reality it's never been good because that's how the furniture assembly thing is, and it's never good. So that's actually, in theory,
strong point on that one.
Yeah, because in theory I do love visuals and I love clear, like direct communication. So there's no extra fluff. There's no extra fluff in those instructions. So in theory, they're the best, but in reality, they're the worst because every time I put together a piece of furniture, it's not worked out well or it's been a challenge, right? I've always had to reassemble it and do it again once I figure out what I did wrong the first time.
I mean, I will give, I think I agree with everything you're saying here, but I personally prefer just straight words.
Okay.
That's what I've learned.
Okay.
Because it's the fastest for my brain. Just give me words. I will go down a list of things to do, and then I will do those things. Theoretically, I like the idea of pictures with a little sentence under it. But then when you brought up the furniture thing, and I remember the situations of my life having to deal with pictures of things with a sentence under it, trying to realize what I mean. Like, how many languages did that original person have to translate that sentence into? And then when you actually get it, you're like, what are you talking about? It makes no sense. That sentence doesn't help me. I need more of a verbal communication. The video, I hate.
Yeah.
I hate videos. They're so slow.
They are really slow. You can watch them at a different speed.
I'm going to have to look into that as a new form of life.
Okay.
This has just become.
Yeah, they do.
I hate videos.
They give you too much.
I don't even remember why I started this question, but I was wondering.
Because of dog nail clipping.
Oh, dog nail clippings. That's right.
Which I think was the topic of our last podcast, but it's still an issue in both of our lives. Clearly.
It hasn't been solved. It's still a problem. I don't know.
And who knows? Maybe next week I still am waiting for my, nail buffer, clipper, whatever.
I can cut my own hair, no problem. It's a dude me.
Tell them how, though.
Okay. For a dude like me, I have very thin hair, very short hair. When you have clippers that are electric that you just plug into the wall or wireless or whatever, you just set a clipper to length 4 or 5 or whatever you're setting it to, and you just go over your hair. You don't have to pay attention. The way I do it, I don't even look in the mirror. I just do it in the shower. I don't look in a mirror. I don't even look what I'm doing. It's just like I just blind. I just do it. It's easy. Wow. I understand that some people have a style. If you have a style, that's completely different.
Oh, so I thought you were still using the vacuum attacher to cut your hair.
I stopped using that. Actually, my dad requested I give my vacuum attachments to him. He is the one that now uses the vacuum cleaner attachment thing.
What is that thing called?
In Wayne's World, they call it the suck cut.
Right.
In real life, dang it. What was it called?
Flowbee?
I used it for the Flowbee. Thank you.
Okay.
The Flowbee. I used the Flowbee for 5 years or so. It was fine. Mm-hmm. For people with thin, straight hair that's short, not a problem. It works fine. Anybody else, bad. Very bad. Don't do it. If you have long hair or a style, no. And that's similar to the clippers.
Okay.
If you have like thick curly hair, you could use it as a buzz cut type of attachment. That would work fine. You could buzz cut. But if you have anything longer than 2 inches,
too much.
No. Okay. You have to actually know how to cut hair. My hair is shorter than 2 inches, so it doesn't matter. So that's where I'm like, hey, I can cut my own hair. Good for me. Yay, yay, yay. But if you're a good-looking person with a style, bad idea. No. Get someone else to do it. However, for most men that I know, most men have hair under 2 inches, and they're ugly and fat and gross. At that point, you should just cut your own hair.
That's true. Save the money.
Make the commitment. That's really... You either want to look good and are like going to go do something about it to look good, or that's
just give up.
That's a commitment.
And if you give up, just give up entirely.
That's what I'm saying.
Give up on everything.
At one point in my life, I went to the barber. I paid $20, and then I had to do a $5 tip. I'm over that. It's done. I'm now going to do it myself. I was committed at one point to trying to look good. Now I'm committed to just doing whatever I need to do to survive as an individual.
I see.
You have to make the choice as a person.
That's true.
You have long hair. You cannot use the clippers. I'm sorry. You can't. True. If you made that decision to be like, I'm clipper lady, that's going to have lifelong repercussions that you haven't even considered. It would be bad.
I have enough problems.
You have to you're going to have to keep step up game.
If you have longer hair, you don't have to cut it as much. So it's not as expensive to get a haircut because I only do it like twice a year.
What about the blowouts? What about the style?
I don't do that.
Well, see, that's a problem because you have to go if you want to look good.
You have to go I guess I just don't.
Yeah, well, after quarantine, now we're starting to learn things about ourselves that we haven't considered. Am I a lazy-ass bastard that doesn't care about my looks? Am I a person that cares too much about my looks? These things all come out.
Oh, see, I
didn't know these things.
Yeah, apparently I would lead a healthier lifestyle if I just didn't have friends or plans.
So you're telling me right now this is the healthiest time of your life?
Exercise-wise, yes. I have so much time.
You're exercising?
Yeah.
We are opposites. This has been a huge deficit of exercise in my life. I'm not doing a damn thing. I got my Fitbit. I have a Fitbit. Okay, this is a big day for me. Big day. 3,000 steps.
Wow.
Okay. Normally I'm like 1,000.
I'm at 8,900.
What the hell? What is going on? You were right. You weren't kidding. Quarantine is like, shoot, you're going to be a 10 by the time this is over if this keeps up.
Long enough.
Gee whiz, what the heck? Continue on. What the heck are you doing and why?
Why? I have time. Exercise actually helps with a lot of the mental stuff that a lot of us are dealing with, right?
But then you still have to make that commitment. You still have to actually go do it.
I'm not saying it's easy. I spend at least twice as much time during the day mentally telling myself that I have to go do it than I do actually exercising. I don't know how to, so I figured out how to actually get exercise to happen in my life. But it costs a lot of time of sitting there and being like, you should do it. You said you're, pepping myself up to do it. It takes over an hour to do it.
I don't even know if you can see my face, but I'm struck. I've been hit by lightning bolts at this point because it's that is a lot. I'm the exact opposite. I thought to myself, I'm not doing anything today. I'm stressed out. I have all this time to do things theoretically, but I have zero interest, and I'm not going to do a damn thing. And that's the way I've been, other than one story we can talk about later.
Oh, okay.
Or not, but whatever.
And then I think another thing I'm realizing is I really like cooking. I am kind of sick of it at this point.
I'm having a heart attack over here. What the hell's going on under quarantine in place? Stay home. This is
living my best life ever.
this is insanity I'm hearing. Oh, I'm going to go work out now. I'm going to start cooking food. I'm going to do everything right. I'm going to be a 10 out of 10 by the time this thing's over. I've like degraded significantly. I'm like, you've seen my face. What do I look like? You said, you're like, are you a Yeti man, a mountain man, or whatever? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm down to a 4. Like I'm fading fast.
But here's the thing. All the other things are going down. So you have to like at least pull yourself up by some things, right? Like my fashion has gone downhill.
Oh,
I actually ordered a blazer online.
Now you've ordered a blazer? You won't even wear a blazer in regular times. Now you're like, hey, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to order a blazer. I'm going to wear a blazer on my Zoom meeting at work on Monday. Right. I'm going to show off. I'm going to wear this blazer and show all these bastards what it's like.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. For 10 years we've been talking about blazers.
We have. So if anybody ever listens to this, that is correct. You and I have been talking about blazers for about 10 years.
For reference, for people that don't know, I'm very pro blazer at the workplace. Olga has been very anti-blazer at the workplace, saying that that's too overdressed.
Yes.
And I say, I don't care. You have to look good. You have to look better than these slobs if you want to get anywhere and work. And then there's the whole sexism thing.
Right.
And there's a lot of things that are beyond just face value. Anyway, but we're now on the blazer train.
Well, so I have been open-minded to try a blazer for a while. I have purchased a blazer. I just didn't like it, so I returned it. So I purchased my second blazer. We'll see if I actually keep it. But it's a gray blazer.
Dark gray or light gray?
It's like a medium.
Okay.
I'll send you a picture.
Okay. Well, not just a picture. You have to wear it and then send me the picture.
I don't have it yet, but I will.
Everything.
That's true. Okay, I will run it by you once it arrives.
Also, for background information, there are certain things I critique that I have no experience in critiquing that doesn't stop me from critiquing, and fashion is probably number one.
Number one, yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. You used to wear days of the week t-shirts like in high school and college. Yes. I was like, ooh, are you going to do days of the week masks? Once we have to all wear masks all the time, you can just do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That doesn't even cross my mind, and now I'm like, well, that's a great idea, but
right? And then
your idea. I can't steal it.
You can steal it. I thought of it for you because then you know which ones you have to wash because you're gonna have to like wash them every day anyways. Wow. So because I was thinking, oh my God, do I have to have like a mask wardrobe now? Like, is mask the new fashion essential? Like maybe I need a mask more than I need a blazer at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, and speaking of masks, like all these bands I like, so Thursday had made masks. They completely sold out immediately. I did not get a Thursday mask.
That's the thing. Okay, so we got the Almost Punk podcast, and what we've learned is now the punk bands are making money on masks. Okay.
Correct.
Continue. I'm sorry, that just blew my mind.
Then, I don't know if I think you know this, but Thrice, that's my favorite band. The guitar player, he has like a company where he makes leather goods. Like wallets, stuff like that.
I'm familiar with his company, but
correct, but not everyone is.
I don't.
And so he made some limited edition masks because he had like the right fabric for it,
leather?
And they sold out. They're not leather; they're cloth. They're cloth. Okay. Yeah. So you can bring it. Okay. I have never not gotten like I've never not bought a ticket to a show that sold out. Like I'm always on the ball and I do it. I signed on. It went on sale at 9:00 this week on Thursday. I signed on, added it to my cart at 9:20 or whatever, 15. 10 seconds later.
You are way behind.
Oh, not 15. 9:000 and 15 seconds into it. I'm like, click to buy. It was just like sold out, pulled it out from my cart, gone. I have not seen anything. Like, it was harder than getting tickets to any show I have ever gotten tickets for. It was harder than getting Tool tickets. It was harder than ordering my vegetables from my CSA every week, which sometimes takes an hour because the website is overloaded. Like masks are the new thing. I'm telling you.
Teppei from Thrice.
Yep.
Does it even have a Thrice logo? Or
No,
anything? Thrice?
it's just like he made them and they were like $10. It was like a reasonable price. And everybody needs masks. It's like something everyone's going to have.
Oh, no.
And nobody has. And now you need a whole mask wardrobe. You probably need like a couple of, like enough masks for the week. Like, so you probably need 5 to 7 masks depending on how much you're going to be going out.
What do you think? What are you going to do? You can't wear, if it's a cheap mask that it's disposable, it's disposable. You can't just wear the same one over and over.
You can't even buy them anymore. So now that's the new item, people. Like, make I'm telling you.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to go buy a Thrice one, but I can't because I can't make my own because I have no
sold out. And Thursday one is sold out. I found a site that has cool ones, but it got lost in the mail, so they're resending me a new one. Like, an artist that I really like, she made a series of masks that are really cute. It's just becoming the new
Oh my God.
thing.
So this goes back to where we first started, 20 minutes ago. Do you want mask instructions in written form?
Ooh.
Do you want mask instructions with a cartoon with a single caption, or do you want a video? And I still go back to my text. I just want full text.
Okay. I think a picture would be helpful to see.
Nope.
No, not for you.
I mean, not for me. I'm going to have to draw the line. I don't want to see a single picture of what I'm doing.
Yeah, everybody's different. So, but yeah, masks are the new cool thing. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness. So the Thrice one doesn't even have a Thrice logo.
No,
it's just
the Thursday one did, but it sold out so fast. Like, yeah.
What was it then? I mean, we have to say what it was.
Oh, it was just cloth, and it came in 3 colors. I think he had like a light yellow, a black, and then a brown. And I only wanted the black one because I don't wear yellow or brown. So the black one was probably the first one to go.
Wow.
And then they were all sold out. I was like debating the other one, but it sold out too. Yeah, and they're just like normal masks. There's nothing on it. They were super plain, so you don't have to be a fan.
Price reference, like,
no, you can buy it for your parents.
Say you survive. Say you don't die.
Yeah.
Then you have this mask, and like, it doesn't even say Thrice on it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like at this point, I don't know. That's what's confusing about it.
That's what sucks.
Yeah, that's what. No, I'm saying everything's confusing right now. But it's like you don't know how many masks you need at this point. You're like, is that all I'm gonna wear for the next 2 years or the rest of my life? Like, do I want to invest and get like the cool mask collection of my dreams, air quotes, or do I just get like whatever? You know, like,
you need the best of the best.
Yeah, because if that's all we're going to be wearing forever, that's the new thing. That's like the new shoes. I mean, I don't wear shoes barely ever anymore because I'm at home. So.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. Like,
I have one cloth mask.
Where did you get it?
Work.
Oh, okay.
It's an N95.
Oh,
and actually, I feel bad wearing it because right before they sent out a message to my office, we have N95 masks. Come grab one if you need one. And then another message went out. I work for the government. Another message went out saying, hey, don't take N95 masks because, nurses and important people need them. Doctors.
Yeah.
Like hospital people that are saving lives. They need these masks. And then I get this email from my office saying, hey, go grab an N95 mask. And so I'm like, okay, what do I do? Well, I happen to have to go in for other reasons. And then there's just this like stack of N95 masks. And I'm like, well, it's not like they're going to turn it over to hospital people and do something good. They're just going to sit there and throw them away because that's just how, everyone's an asshole. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to go grab one. So I grab one and I take it home. And it's just been sitting there. I've gone into work one time since.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they're not reusable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to like wipe it down or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm
going to go contact Thrice and I'll like try to make a trade.
Ooh.
And they'll be like, no, we're not interested. They won't reply. It's going to be bad.
But see, now you want a cool mask too.
Now I wasn't even thinking about it. Now I'm like, shoot, I better go get a Ramones mask, just like
See?
everything else. You know, I got to get the little, you know, the circle thing over my face.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, Dee Dee, Joey.
Yeah. I want a mask that's like the Misfits logo, but it's just the bottom, so you just have the
Oh,
skull
dude.
mouth. That's my dream
Oh
mask.
my
My
God.
real dream is to never have to wear a mask, and for none of us to have to wear a mask, and for this nightmare to be over.
Oh, that's crazy talk, though.
But my
More
second
likely that you'll get
dream.
a Misfits. It's much more likely that you'll get a Misfits mask than have this nightmare be over where you don't have to wear a mask.
I agree, and especially Misfits being the Misfits. Like,
Yep.
why have they not jumped on this opportunity?
I'm sure I'm going to walk out there on Monday morning and there's going to be a bunch of people wearing these Misfit masks. I'll be like, oh, punks.
See?
Those
Yeah,
punks.
yeah.
They're going to make it themselves because that's what punks do. They DIY. They're going to be like, oh, you know what's cool? Making your own punk mask.
Yeah.
Misfits are cool. Punk mask.
Well, I have a Misfits shirt, but I bought it at the original Misfits show that was in LA last summer.
Oh, not humble brag.
I mean, you know, but but that shirt was so expensive. I don't want to cut it up for a mask. That's my whole.
Well, then you're not true punk because true punk doesn't care about price. True punk only cares about fashion.
True punk can't afford the $30 original.
True punk don't care about no $30 t-shirt. True punk says, I gotta cut this up and turn it into a mask because that's punk.
I think it's a little too big for my head too. But yeah, but that's how we're gonna be able to tell. Because
just put it in the laundry on high heat. Shrink it down.
All right. I'll think about it. But yeah, but that's how you're going to be able to tell who's punk, because you can't see anyone's face anymore. You'll just be able to tell by their mask. Do they have a Ramones mask? Do they have a Misfits mask?
Oh, Timmy, that Timmy with his Thrice mask and Sarah with her Misfits mask.
Yeah.
I love them all. They're such good punks.
Yeah. Is that what we're going to wear to shows? If we ever get shows again, instead of like t-shirts of bands you like, you're going to have oh my God, I just invented it. You can put patches on your mask.
Oh man. Oh,
thank you, Evan. You're welcome.
Like, you know, the safety pins like I would do. I'll just like put I'm too lazy to sew. I'm just going to cut out a square, do 4 safety pins. Yep. Hey, punk me. And then you're going to start judging people and be like, oh, who are you with your Blink 182 stupid ass mask, you dumb shit? I got my minor threat. Fuck
yeah.
Dickhead.
You're a poser.
Yeah, poser, Blink 182 fan. Oh my God. I can just see it's just like the hatred coming out in weird ways like never before. Yeah. Oh, it'll be grandiose. It'll be the best. If you don't,
if we don't die. And plus, I feel like patches already are made from like a thicker material that would probably make it better fabric for masks in the first place. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. So you don't have the true punk canvas thickness loser with your single ply cotton ridiculousness.
Imagine you going with like those one-time surgical masks to a show.
Oh my God. They'll be like, get the hell out of here, you poser! What a dick! Get the fuck out of here!
You couldn't have even grabbed one of those masks that was on sale for exactly 12 seconds?
Get out of here, you N95 wearing fuckface! Go listen to Creed.
Where did you pick this up at Walgreens on your way to the show? You don't even listen to this band if you don't have the official mask.
Oh my God! Hey, you in that Limp Bizkit concert? Can get the fuck out of here! Oh, this is what's happening because we're already thinking it ourselves. That just means that we are, even if we don't yell at people when we see it, we're thinking it. So.
See,
I'm already preparing for hating people with their mask based on their masks.
Yeah, because it's like, ooh, do you have a cool fashion sense or you're a dork? Like,
oh my God. It's going to be like a bunch of like YouTube influencers, like with their name on the front. I don't even know. Like, what's that guy? Shoot. Whatever. And then I hate him. Just like, oh, I hate that person. What a dick. And it's just that. I think you're right. I think that's what's going to actually happen. Oh.
And unlike a back patch or a jacket back where you can have many patches, on a mask, there's a very small amount of space to express yourself. So it's going to be like you either get it right or you get it wrong. There's no space for those secondary bands.
Oh no, this is the future.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
it's all tier 1. There's no space. There's no room for tier 2, tier 3.
Whoa, this is big. This is big.
This is big.
You did tell me to go listen to the new NoFX Decline with Orchestra.
I did. Yes. What did you think?
Good.
It was good.
I liked it.
I liked it too. And then YouTube just started playing the same thing with the symphony. And I was like, oh, so they did do this even earlier on. They did like a symphony one and then they did an orchestra one.
Hold on. Woo. What's the difference? What are you talking about? What's the difference between the symphony and the orchestra of the Decline?
I don't know. What is the difference between a symphony and an orchestra?
I don't know. I from what you said, like brand new on Spotify, because now that's where I go for everything.
Oh.
NoFX with Orchestra for the Decline is the newest thing. Came out in April or March or April. But you're telling me there's something else I haven't listened to. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute. What does that mean? Are they with that symphony or is it just symphony music without NoFX?
It's the same makers as the NoFX with the orchestra, and then there's NoFX with a rock symphony in 2015. Maybe it's just a bigger deal because the second one was at the Red Rocks. And
now I'm so confused of why I spent my time.
Well,
I listened to the original one.
Okay.
I listened to the orchestra one, and now you're telling me symphony one.
Okay,
that's a lot of Decline.
There is.
It's a piece.
So apparently, orchestra is a group of musicians with a variety of instruments, which usually involves the violin family. The orchestra is just a group of musicians, usually 3 or 4 movements. So I think the orchestra one had violins and the other one didn't. Maybe that's the difference. I don't know. I don't listen to music that's symphony or orchestra. What do I know?
Now I have to go back and figure it out. I was like, hey, I liked this orchestra. They had like horns.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was really weird to watch the video because it's such a clash of style between the orchestra and NoFX.
Oh, you watched a video.
Oh, did you not?
Yeah. I just said I don't watch anything. I need a verbal written description. If it would have been like, bassoon player takes his seat. Bassoon player hits 3rd note on the 5th panel of bassoon.
You would prefer that
I'd be like,
to listen.
That's amazing. But if there's some sort of video of like some dude playing the bassoon, I'm like, fuck that guy. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it sounded
I'm glad you watched it.
On the audio as well. Apparently you have some more homework to do, but yes.
Oh, no.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's so funny because we were rambling endlessly about, which of us prefers the audio or the written format versus video. And then it just kind of came full circle because you were like, there's a video? Oh my God.
I was wondering how it was because I was like, well, the vibe for this Decline with orchestra was great at the Red Rocks. I was like, well, I'm feeling it. I really am feeling it. And then I'm like, Melvin, this guy's the secret weapon here, man. He's in the background. They like lowered him in the mix, but I'm like, man, he's giving it his all for this. Like he yells out, "We are the queer. We are the," I don't know, whatever word he's saying. But he's like, he's hitting those notes. I'm like, he's really doing it. And then there's like this horn player. And I'm like, I don't really like the tone of that horn, but for the song, I do like it. And I was like, the vibe is really good. And then I just thought, no one gives the drummer credit for a damn thing in the world because this is a single song that's like 20 minutes long. And the drummer is playing like this fast beat for the vast majority of it.
That is crazy.
And this is not like he's in the studio where he gets to just stop and redo something. It's like, no, this guy is responsible for this entire song, leading this entire band. and he's like nailing it. And of course, there's parts of the song where he doesn't have to play anything, very briefly, maybe like 10 seconds at a time. He can like take a sip of water or something like that. But I'm like, this drummer is freaking amazing, and this is why this band is so good, is because of the drummer. But I don't think he gets any credit for anything.
Nope.
I
think it's hard to get to be the star when you're in a band with Fat Mike, because he's very entertaining, and just he's the performer. He's the performer. Yeah. And so I think if he was in a band with other people, then maybe you're right, he would probably get more credit for who he is, for his skill. But it's really hard to stand out when you have, like, you can't stand out in a band with Fat Mike. Like, Fat Mike's always
not only that, I don't know his name other than Smelly. So I'm like, wow, Smelly is a really good drummer. I never really paid attention to Smelly, but Smelly is doing a great job.
Yeah,
and it's like Melvin. I'm like, Melvin's doing good background vocals. I never pay attention to Melvin.
Yeah,
I pay attention to Smelly. I don't pay attention to these guys. And so I was like, okay, it's a great song.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's a band where I like everyone, and I think everyone's important, and I at least know like their names and stuff. But it is hard to pay attention to them when they're playing with Fat Mike, because he just always does something, very amusing.
He wrote the song, so he gets the most credit. He's the singer, so he gets the most credit. But then, like, Hefe is actually the good musician in the band. That's the way I think of it. And then I got, Melvin, like I was saying, I was like, he's got to yell all these things out. He doesn't make one mistake. And then Smelly is holding it all together. I was just like, man, this is amazing. This is a great thing. I'm glad you brought it to my attention, because this is something that needs to be heard. It's the Decline, NoFX Decline with Orchestra. Great thing. Go check it out with Orchestra, without Orchestra.
With Symphony. You can listen to it
what the heck that is
without the video, or you can watch the video. See, there's so many options. And speaking of, like, we're talking about the different band members. So what they did is, when they released it, and they released it because we're all kind of bored and need things to watch anyway, so it's a good time. But then each band member did a live stream Q&A on Instagram. So first I went to go watch the Baz stream. He's like the guy who's the
orchestra
conductor,
leader.
The lead. And so I guess it was his idea. But I was like, I didn't have the context because I haven't seen it yet, because everything airs when I'm like actually trying to do work. So it was kind of weird to watch the interview without the context. So I watched the video, and then I tried to find the live streams after. First, this is why that this is going to be very relevant to what we were just talking about. So I found Melvin. I don't know if he did a stream, but I did find him doing a stream for Punk Rock and Paintbrushes, which is an art thing, right? So I watched that. I'll talk about that in a second. I did find Fat Mike's streams. He did save it so I could watch it. So that was good. El Jefe did not save his stream. I don't know. They don't know how to use Instagram, or if that was intentional. And Smelly, I could not find his account. Like, they tagged his account in it. I clicked on it, and it was an invalid account. So right there, it tells you, why does, and I'm like, this is why I don't know this guy's name. He doesn't even, I couldn't even, I was making a point to watch all of their interviews posted. And I couldn't even find his account. I couldn't find Hefe's interview. And then I don't know if it was the right one with Melvin or not, but he did one for Punk Rock and Paintbrushes, and him and his wife painted. And it was like hanging out with your parents, except your parents are actually like fun and funny and cool. So it's not like hanging out with your parents, Colin, but it's like hanging out with most people's parents. Like they just put their kids to sleep, and they were just having a drink and listening to music and painting. And it was just like really mellow. And I made myself watch that, but it was just like, there was like nothing going on. And then you have the Fat Mike stream, which was, and people just don't ask good questions. That's the problem with these Instagram things, because apparently not everyone should be a journalist. is what I'm realizing even more, is because they ask like the dumbest questions, and there's so much interesting things that you can ask about. So the most questions are like, do you like this band? Do you like this band? What's your favorite song by this band? What's your, like, and it's like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about that stuff. Fat Mike talks about so much cool stuff, and I'm like, I want to hear about this, or I want to hear about that. So a lot of it was kind of wasted on those questions. And then, you know, in it, he's just, he got into this like tiny car that he has and drove it around. He walked through his dungeon. His girlfriend is posing for photos in the background. Like, this is why this guy is the most entertaining in the band. Like, you can even see by the interview posted, it was like, his was like funny and interesting and just super weird. And then the other guys couldn't even like bother or know how to like save it. And then Melvin's was like, super mellow, like people ask them what artists they like, and I mean, it's
well,
cool.
That's why it works for them. I mean, they've been doing it forever. I mean, I guess you can't have all these people trying to hog the spotlight. No. So like you were just saying, you got some guy giving you a tour of his house, and then you're like, oh, I just toured his dungeon.
Yeah.
That's a little more entertaining than most people's house. I don't have a dungeon. You can look at my little toilet, but that's not a
yeah, and then you can't have more than one Fat Mike per band. It just doesn't work. Like you need
conflict.
You need 3 other dudes taking care of Fat Mike to make sure he shows up to the show.
Yeah,
like you need a whole crew just for that. So yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, that's what I've been doing a lot of, is watching Instagram live streams, and it's been kind of awesome. And it's almost like, stop, everyone, this is impacting my life. I don't have time anymore. I'm supposed to have all this free time, and I'm just sitting there and watching all these band interviews and live streams and just being like, I just want to go back to shows.
Yeah. Well, another one we looked at was the Riverboat Gamblers.
Yes.
They released their songs with an orchestra. So that was a completely different vibe than the NoFX thing. So I thought that was interesting, because NoFX Decline with orchestra was like, you know, they already did the Decline. It's a punk song. They just added an orchestra to it. Yeah. Whereas the Riverboat Gamblers with the orchestra, completely different vibe. It was like a 1960s weird. I mean, I'm not a historian that can go back that far, but that's what I was like. I was like, this is like from the 60s. It was very garagey. It had a lot of soul elements. It was not punk.
Because it wasn't their song or anything. It's right.
Yeah, it was a totally different thing. And I just thought, I need a record player. I need real speakers. This thing with just like my headphones, just sitting in my bed.
Yeah.
This is not doing this justice like it needs to be done. I need more reverb. I need an open room. It was just like a completely different vibe. But I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is super cool. They're both like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I just thought, wow, it's amazing what you can, like, adding or not adding the orchestra. You're a punk band. I don't know. I guess it's more expansive than I was expecting. I was just expecting punk song with a horn. And that's with NoFX, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, correct.
And I thought, and the vibe was good, and I really liked it. And then Riverboat Gamblers, like, hey, we're going to do something totally different.
Well,
we're going to add something.
Yeah, I think the difference is with NoFX one, it was their show, their concert, they're playing Red Rocks, and then they invited the orchestra to come play a song with them. Whereas the Riverboat Gamblers one, I don't know the context, but I'm assuming it was the opposite. Like, the orchestra is playing a show, and then they come and play a song with them. So it's the flip scenario, right?
Is that right?
I am guessing. I don't know. Okay. But I'm usually right, so we can just.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. So
that was okay. So you didn't watch that one on a music video level like the NoFX one?
I feel like I have, but it's been a while that I don't even remember.
I just remember. Okay, so like on Spotify, they had the album cover, and it had Riverboat Gamblers standing in front of what appears to be 20 people in a choir.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, whoa, that's weird. And they all sang along with the stuff. So it seemed a little different vibe.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't watch any video. I'm just judging it straight from a picture because, like we said, I can't be bothered to watch a video, even if I'm
Yeah.
already going to sit there and listen to it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. So see how hard it is? It would have been so hard for you to watch all these live streams like I have been.
Oh, I can't do it. I need a written description of what happened at the live streams.
I did
Even talking about it now is too much for me. You're gonna have to send me an email
describing the live streams.
And be like, oh, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah. I've been watching AFI's been doing live streams, so I think I've seen Davey, Hunter, and Adam do live streams
Together or individually?
One at a time. So
that's what I'm figuring. Okay.
And then I think Jade's is next. Is coming up?
What is that? What are they doing?
They're just sitting in their houses, and then they just talk about how they've been spending the time in quarantine, just to like give people recommendations. I guess.
Can you imagine if you're a new band and that's the way to find new fans? That's like the new way of putting out a song. Hey, we're a band in quarantine.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. And then it'll be like, people are like, that band sounds like fun. We like it.
Yeah, and then they also answer questions. People can type up questions and they ask them, and but you're right, it is really hard for bands that are coming out now to find people. And also the live stream feature, I have a lot of problems with it. I think it really helps me discover the accounts I no longer want to follow, because you're like, oh, you're boring, I'm out.
Yep.
It's brutal out there, because it's like,
we got no time.
Yeah, I don't have time for this. If you can't, like, it's a powerful tool. You can't be misusing it. You can't be live streaming yourself picking your nose or just being boring. Like no one has time for that. You know, there's 15 other live streams happening right now. Like,
that's right.
I could be watching or I can watch an actual show. But yeah, the AFI ones were really cool because I feel like, well, you and I have met them a couple of times when they were kind of smaller, and then the band got so big and they just kind of seemed less approachable in my head.
Yeah, they're not talking to us like they used to.
They're not talking to us like they used to. And so it was kind of cool to see them like just be normal in their houses and just be sort of like thankful for their fans too, like saying like, I'm so privileged to be able to be at home right now, and thank you for kind of giving me this life. And I've like never heard, that's the thing that's been really interesting about the quarantine. I mean, there's many things that are interesting, but for me, it's like you really see the real lives, because none of us have lives anymore. We're all sitting at home, but you see the homes and sort of like the reality of people's lives in a way. Like I would have never seen what all of their living rooms or houses or whatever look like. And now I have. And also we're all feeling vulnerable and just kind of stressed, and so many things are going on. And so you're just kind of seeing people in a different way than you have seen, especially musicians of bands that you really like and things like that, where there's like a barrier, there's a physical actual barrier between the stage and the fans. And then there's a sort of mental barrier of like, you can't just go up and talk to them, or you can't just message them, or, you know, whatever. And so, you know, because they're too busy and whatever, they're doing interviews for other things.
Do you think that that's going to lead them to change their musical style back? Like we'll just use AFI, for instance. Okay, now that we're back to basics on life, are we going to make more of a hardcore punk album like we used to do? Or is this, now that we've seen the world like this, we're going to take it even further away from where we came from in the first place?
So ironically, I actually have an answer for you based on what Hunter said. I don't know why I remember this, but somebody asked him, do you still like to play punk rock? And he was like, well, what do you mean? I'm not sure what that question means. Like, we play a variety of songs, and a lot of, like, obviously their earlier songs are punk. And then he's like, I'm in my 40s now. Like, it's not like they don't listen to punk anymore or whatever, but I think they've kind of, he made it sound like they've kind of moved on musically, and that's where they're at. And then somebody else said, do a Black Sails tour. And he's like, we have done it. It was when the album came out. Like, we have done it. It was there. We did it. Like, we're not doing it again.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do.
Good to know.
Essentially, if that's what you want to see, just all you have to do is build a time machine and, go see Black Sails Tour. So
good. Well, that's bad for his own future in the band, but that's whatever.
But I mean, I don't know if that's
more
I'm
programming. Sure, okay, there you go.
I'm sure other people agree, though. I don't know. I'm assuming.
Oh, I mean, man, there are so many things to say about pros and cons, moving forward, moving backwards. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah. They'll always retain some element of what they were, and they will always move forward just like they do every album.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing. Just like you said it, just like he said it. He said it himself. Mm-hmm. They're moving forward.
Yeah.
My question was, will it make them consider the past? And you're like, no, they don't give a shit.
I think it's part. Okay, I mean, it's part of, like, it seemed like one of the books Davey recommended, or a couple of them were like about punk history, and I'm sure, I mean, they still all listen to some bands, or they, but it's not all they listen to, and that's totally fine by me. That's not all I listen to either, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I think we've hit the end here tonight.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wanted to throw out there?
Ooh, do you have any grudges this week?
You know what? I actually have to do an anti-grudge. I have to do a shout out on humanity, which is strange to me.
Oh my God, the world is ending.
I'll tell a story real quick. So this lady in the middle of the night walks down my street and she trips over the sidewalk in front of my house, falls on her face, and for some reason comes back the next morning at 7 a.m. and knocks on my doorbell. I'm like totally out of it. And she like comes to my door and she's like, oh my God, I tripped over your sidewalk. I just want to let you know, I don't want to sue you. I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want to do, and this is like a crazy lady, by the way. She's out of her mind. She tells me like she doesn't have any animosity towards me, but she asked me, she's like, I just want to let you know I tripped over your sidewalk and you should really do something about that. And then she turns around and walks away. And then I'm like, PO'd. I'm like, man, like, hey, why? Like, I don't say this. I was very nice to her. I'm like, I see I'm sorry that it happened. I'll do something about it. I'm sorry. Yeah. La, la, la. And then I'm thinking, why don't you just walk where the fuck you're walking, lady? Like, what the fuck? Like, you trip over my sidewalk's not my problem. That's you being a stupid ass. I don't say that. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I'm starting to think about it as the day goes on. I'm still kind of, like, mad about it. And I recognize I got to do something. So I put up this little, like, I stick a piece of wood in the ground and I make a little flag that says like repairs in progress as I think about what am I going to do to fix this problem. I don't want to get sued by this crazy lady, even though she told me she wasn't going to sue me, but she did say she was going to like call the city on me. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, I'm making this little flag. My weird vagabond neighbor, crazy guy, he sees me doing this, making this flag, and he's like, hey man, I can help you out. I can get a bag of cement and just like pour some concrete on the ground and we'll flatten it out together and everything will be cool. And you know, and so he stopped everything he was doing without any payment, just stopped everything. He grabbed I don't even know how I did it. He got a big old barrel. He had all these tools. He stopped his whole life and he poured concrete, flattened out my sidewalk.
Wow.
And I was just like in shock about what was going on because I've just never experienced some random loony bin that he's a crazy guy. I've seen him on the sidewalk. He like howls at the moon. He's crazy. He's naked half the time, but he like fixes my sidewalk with me in the middle of this quarantine. I'm sure I've caught the virus now because we are standing right next to each other. Anyway, it was weird. In the end, my sidewalk is repaired. Everything is fine. This guy asked for nothing. He finished at like 9:30 p.m. The sun was down. It was the middle of the night. It was crazy.
Wow.
So I was like my anti-grudge. I have to
Wow.
call a shout out for humanity. People helped me out, and I should recognize that.
That is awesome.
This time, it worked out. It was
Wow.
weird. I'm sure tomorrow I'll get mugged, but for today,
Yeah.
it was a nice thing.
For this one time, humanity wins. Yeah. I'm actually having the opposite experience with my neighbors. Maybe that'll be my grudge this week because I didn't prepare one. But there's just so many things to be angry about right now.
Oh my God, you got that right.
My neighbor had a party this week.
Oh.
And we're sort of, okay, not just he had a party while we are at stay-at-home orders by our county, our state. He had a guy pull up in his car, and I see him because, he lives like right under me. This guy comes in scrubs, like full-on scrub outfit with a badge from, I don't know what hospital he came from, and he came to this party downstairs for me, and I'm just like,
he's gonna kill everyone.
Are you trying to kill me or what? And then I didn't know it was apparently football draft pick.
A draft.
Yes.
NFL
See, I don't.
Draft.
Yep. And so they were just so loud, like till late hours,
God.
just drunk and everything. But it just seems kind of tone deaf to be loud partying when we're all just trying to survive right now.
Oh man.
I get that everybody is like managing things differently. Everybody's expressing their anger, confusion, disorientation differently, but it was just kind of weird.
That's so bad. I tried myself. I'm a sports fan. I tried to watch the draft. I watched it for like 45 seconds, and I was like, this is the most boring, terrible sporting event I've ever seen. And I changed the channel, and I started watching Masked Singer. And that's where we're at in the world. This is so bad.
See, apparently you should have just come downstairs for me. There was a happening.
That's why we got, like, people are so hungry for sporting events that they're willing to party over the worst one because that's all there is. It is slim pickings.
It is. I mean, I'm just, that's like me sitting there watching Anti-Flag doing songs on my iPhone. Like, it's not the way I had tickets to go see them. Like, this is not.
I can't wait until our future podcasts are about like things that have actually blown our minds in a good way.
I know.
Like right now, things are blowing our mind of how crappy it is and these weird workarounds and like we're doing Tetris just to live our lives.
Oh,
and eventually we're going to get out of this and there's going to be new things that come out.
That'll be
and
good.
It'll be a rebirth of excitement.
Yeah, I'm
looking forward to that. We're nowhere near that right now.
No, but and not only are we playing Tetris, but I also feel like when I go outside to walk my dog, it's like I'm playing Frogger because you're trying to avoid people. And so I was trying to come home and not meet the people from that party that are all going to be contaminated now, obviously.
Oh man, you see a guy in scrubs and you gotta fucking get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and then I have to walk my dog, so I'm like froggering over, like waiting for them to go inside, like running outside, like, and I was like, oh my God, this is just like Frogger. Like, and then other people on the side, so our lives are just like a bad video game.
Would you like this bleach and alcohol cocktail, sir?
Right.
I should have for you.
I should have offered them some drinks. I should have made them some alcohol martinis or something with.
Well, it was nice to podcast this time. We'll do it again soon.
Yes.
All right, I'll end this one for now and we'll see how it goes.
Punk.
Thanks for listening to Almost Punk Podcast in April 2020.
Yep. Bye.